Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's general budget for the financial year of 2017 and 18 has been welcomed by the Meghalaya government as well as the general public, including student community, but not without skepticism. Meghalaya Information and Technology Minister Dr. Ampren Lingdo, while welcoming the budget, said that the real problem will start while implementing the budget proposal. Dr. Lingdo, while praising Jaitley for his budget proposal, hoped that all budget allocations would relocate down to all states in a proper way.
Okay, Saka.
So this was a good announcement. There's a lot of money. I'm happy that the finance minister was very eloquent in his presentation of this budget. But usually in the past also finance ministers did do a good job on the budget passing. The problem begins when the actual allocation to states come on. The line departments actually start thinking of their policies. They draw out their policies, their guidelines. That's when the problems and the conflicts with the state start. I hope that with as much enthusiasm and with as much knowledge that was displayed in the parliament today, I hope that that would percolate down to the people in the different states. We, the people of the Northeast, the states of the Northeast, still require the 90-10 funding pattern. So many schemes in the last budget were not able to reach us because of all these conflicts in the guidelines. I hope that these things get sorted out. I hope that the federal structure of our country actually starts functioning. The central government will announce, but the state governments don't agree. We need to bridge that gap because we need to start cracking. There is much knowledge that is being circulated today in the country, and it's about time that all state governments and the center sit down, crack the ice, and start doling out good plans and programs for the people of this beautiful country.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I think it's a welcoming step on the part of the government to bring about this issue on the political funding. And as we are all aware, we have seen the role of money in the democratic process and how it has created havoc in the democratic process. But I think this will deter many of those who wants to enter politics, with a different intention of, making it a business. So now we can concentrate.
A lot of new initiatives were announced for the youth, especially in the education sector. So, an innovation fund was announced for secondary education. Not much was said about it, how it is going to be implemented, how much funds are being allocated for that. So, we expected more clarity on that. There were a few cheers about the Swayam platform that the government is launching with more than 350 courses online, including those of from foreign universities. So these are a few things which are a positive for students, but we also expected a few more things in terms of better training for teachers, better infrastructure for the already existing institutes, so that it helps us to climb high up in the rankings of different companies worldwide. So pretty much it was positive. We expected a little more, but we are happy.
Thank you. Thank you. Look at the camera. Don't look at him. Okay. For me, relaxation into the promoter's holding limit of 51% to carry forward unabsorbed losses and depreciation is the biggest takeaway from the budget 2017. As a B school grad, we can actually conceptualize our B plan into the reality, and it will big boost for the startups and e-commerce industry into the India. Apart from that, reduction into the corporate tax rate from 30% to the 25% for an annual turnover up to rupees 50 crore is going to give a huge benefit for approximately 96% of of our corporates. So I think it's a good initiative. But apart from that, reduction into the personal tax rate by 5% and imposing 10% surcharge on the income above 50 lakh is a win-win situation for government and for the public, because it's going to benefit the lower strata. At the same time, it will going to balance the income of the government. So, but and I also think that where the government has missed, that they could have done something better for the salaried employed, and the corporate social responsibility, which is still disallowed as an income tax expenditure, should have been allowed, so that the more corporates are motivated for their corporate social responsibility. I think. Thank you.
बजट अब की बार संतुलित बजट है संतुलित है। और नोटबंदी से क्या फर्क पड़ेगा इतना कोई ज़्यादा समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। लेकिन जो भी मध्यम वर्ग के लोग नोटबंदी के पहले जो तकलीफ पाए थे, जो ईमानदार आदमी हैं, उनको फ़ायदा होगा इससे, क्योंकि टैक्सेशन में रियायत दी गई है। वो ईमानदारों को फ़ायदा होगा, बेईमानों को फ़ायदा नहीं होगा, ऐसा मेरे को लगता है।
Budget is good for the common people. It's a balanced budget wherein the tax slab rates has been decreased. That is a very good news for the people, for the common man. And also the government has increased the fund for the women and children's. That is also one thing. Then again, in the railways, they are looking for 500 new stations where disabled people and again in the roads and all, the budget has been increased. That will empower India and Skill India also, they have increased the budget. That will be a very good budget for the common people. As far as my knowledge goes, this budget is a very good for a common man. See, in my opinion, as far as for the corporate, there is nothing as such, especially for corporates. The budget is mainly focused on the common people, the agricultural, the farmers, and Skill India and the railways. So it has got nothing to do with corporates. I don't find anything which is supporting the corporates.
This budget, if you look at the national perspective, is definitely a growth-oriented budget. A huge investment has been placed for infrastructure development that will create jobs, that is almost 4 lakh crore. But when you look at the budget from Northeast perspective, I find it's a great disappointment. I was expecting that they will speak something about Northeast industrial policy. They will give some incentive to the industries in the northeastern region, which they have not done. No specific provision has been made in the budget for the development of northeastern region, which was indeed a great disappointment. Otherwise, the tax reforms which they have given will help in generating more white money. People will come forward to pay income tax. As the finance minister rightly said, the Indians are the people who normally don't pay taxes. With a lower rate of taxation, I am optimistic that the tax revenue of the government will increase. There are many provisions has been made in the income tax laws which we have to study before we really make any comment on them. The railway budget has been merged with the main budget, and almost 55,000 lakh crore rupees, I don't remember the exact amount. A huge amount has been, I think it's 55,000 crore, budgetary support has been given to the railway, which is, I think, is need of the hour, as railways has not developed its infrastructure the way it should have been developed because of the reasons known to all of us. We have weak bridges, we have many accidents, and if we need to make railway sustainable, the government will require to make investment in the railways. So I think what Finance Minister has done, he has done absolutely a right decision.